How's it going, everyone? It's me, Lone, back again with another Fallout 76 video, and today we are going to be talking about Vampire's weapons in Fallout 76. So quick trip down memory lane. Prior to the change in damage calculation in Fallout 76, I would say that Vampire's weapons were seen as solid mid-tier weapons. Not too bad, not too good, but certainly they weren't up there with the likes of Bloodied and Junkied, and also anti-armor at the time, I believe. But after the change in damage calculation in the game, I don't even remember when that was, Vampire's weapons were started to be seen as more favorable by the community, to the stage where today I would consider them as a top tier weapon next to the likes of Bloodied and anti-armor. Junkied is not as good anymore. And there's a number of reasons for that. Number one, those higher damage dealing weapons like Bloodied were obviously brought down to all the other weapons in the game more so things were a bit more balanced overall. But also second, the changes in One Wasteland were brought out at the exact same time. And if you remember, what those changes did is essentially they made enemies around the map more scale to your character, and that meant they were harder and harder to kill, and they also hit harder. So generally players were finding themselves dying a little bit more than normal, especially Bloodied players. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Bloodied player and I love it, but I was dying a lot more. I found myself dying a lot more and I had to change my playstyle, right? And now I don't die as much. But because of that, I think people were looking at different ways to ensure that they didn't die as much. And this is where Vampire's weapons come into it, especially the high rate of fire Vampire's weapons. And I would say confidently that Vampire's weapons are a top tier weapon in Fallout 76 today. And in today's video, I want to explain exactly why you should be using a Vampire's weapon in Fallout 76. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it. I would really appreciate it. Something happened with yesterday's video. It wasn't showing in search listings, so the views are horrible on it. Have a look at it. I really hate that it happened. But if you like this video, hopefully we can get back on track with the channel. And subscribe, please, if you are new. But with all that out of the way, let's get to the topic of the video. Okay, so we are at the trusty Westech to talk about Vampire's weapons. Now, there's a number of reasons I have, and there's plenty more, don't get me wrong, but I have 5 reasons for why Vampire's weapons are considered so good in 2021 in Fallout 76. And I want to be comparing a Vampire's weapon, a very decent, very popular Vampire's weapon, to an equivalent Bloodied weapon, just so you can get a sense of scale and comparison when we're talking about a weapon that's not designed to deal so much damage versus a weapon like Bloodied, which is designed to deal as much damage as possible. So let's look at the weapons that I'm talking about. First up, let's look at my Vampire's weapon, right? Currently, I have an optimized heavy gunner build, right? So this is as much damage as you're going to get pretty much without adrenaline and all that kind of stuff. So I have this Vampire's weapon. It is a Vampire's explosive, primed as well, 50 cal machine gun. It does a damage of 160, right? We're going to compare it to this. Equivalent in all other ways, right? They've got the exact same mods, prime receiver, heavy barrel, right? So there's no differences there. But this one is, of course, is a Bloodied. It is a Bloodied explosive 50 cal. So the damage on this one is 206. And what I want to do is just showcase to you how these act practically. Like, forget the numbers of 206 versus 160, right? Obviously, in terms of damage, the Bloodied weapon is better. But I want to show you first, practically, the differences of these weapons against high-level enemies like super mutants. And then we can get into the reasons why Vampire's weapons are seen as top tier. Even, as like the best legendary weapons by certain people. Angry Turtle believes these are better than any other weapons in the game, any other legendary effect in the game. So let's explain why. So first of all, I'm going to use let's start off with the Bloodied weapon, all right? I'm going to use my Bloodied, and I have it equipped right now, against some of these super mutants. So these are like level 75. I always go here to test out weapons and stuff. I will just get more hydrated. By the way, as well, I've ensured that I don't have adrenaline on, so I'm not having any unfair comparisons, and I've removed taking one from the team, just to ensure that there's no kind of differences in the boost of damage that I might get from enemy to enemy. Alrighty, so 2 level 60 guys here. They're both overlords as well. So I want to show you me killing one of these with a Bloodied. I won't use VATS. I'm just going to use my Bloodied gun, and we'll see how quick it takes to kill. Start a timer if you want, but I'm just going to go off kind of feeling here. So let's make sure I don't die. Bloody hell. Go away. That guy didn't get hurt, did he? No. All right, let's go. So I just hit his torso. That was pretty quick, right? Now, let's get rid of these idiots. let's swap to my vampire's weapon. All right, I'll reload just in case. And let's see how quick I kill this guy. It wasn't that much of a difference, was it? Right? Like, if you actually practically look at it as a general mob, those two enemies died pretty quickly. And again, you go onto this gun, it's 206. You go onto this gun, it is 160. So the damage differences in damage numbers are there, right? But they died pretty evenly. And I would say that that's most of the case, no matter which regular mob you're looking at. Some might be different. Of course, when you're looking at the Scorched Beast Queen, and even like the Super Mutant Behemoth or the Milo Queen or Earl Williams, etc., those boss monsters, over time, you're going to see a difference, a bigger difference, with bloodied weapons performing much better in terms of damage than Vampire's weapons. But just with general mobs, Vampire's weapons are still very, very effective. And the big reason for that when it comes to my instance is that the boosts that a bloodied build, I should say an unyielding build, give you are still there for you with every gun that you hold, including vampires, right? So remember, when you're a low health build and you've got Nerd Rage boosting your damage, and you've got the mutation like Adrenal Reaction boosting your damage, it's not like that just boosts your damage for bloodied weapons, it boosts your damage for all your weapons, right? The additional benefit that bloodied gives you is just the legendary effect, which means you get more damage the lower your health is. But your vampire's weapons are still getting a boost. But then, when you look at the vampire's effect, not only are you killing enemies still relatively quickly as a low health build, but you're getting your health back almost instantly with a high rate of fire weapon like a 50 cal. This is why Vampire's weapons are seen as top tier right now, because practically they deal very similar amounts of damage to a bloodied weapon when you have a low health build. But even, given that legendary effect, Vampires still performs very, very admirably. So these are the reasons why I'm going to give now, and I will give some more comparisons as the video goes on. So number one, because of the main effect of Vampires, and especially again with a high rate of fire weapon, you will essentially never die in this game. There will be instances where you will, but because of the instant healing effect that it pretty much gives you, you will never die, and you will never need to use stim packs. Like, it's such an amazing effect, and I want to show you, right? This guy, actually, there's a few guys over here. I'll let them pretty much try and kill me. A legendary guy, even better. Watch this, right? I'm about to die. Look at that heal me. I was like moments away from dying, and then I was healed instantly. Now, you might not get this with a Vampire's melee or a Vampire's shotgun, right? It won't be as effective. But a fixer or a handmade or an assault rifle or a 50 cal or a minigun or a Gatling laser, whatever it is, look how quickly I killed that level 100 super unit, right? Whatever high rate of fire Vampire's weapon you are talking about, you're going to kill them quick and get all your health back very quickly. Look at this turret shoot me. I'm going to show you again, right? So I'm almost dead, and then I'll get it back. All my health back. It is freaking awesome. This is exactly why Vampires is amazing, because you will barely die with this build. And I'll get into certain events that, are really beneficial in terms of Vampires, but let's move on to the next one. So number two, because of this, because you're rarely using stim packs and any other healing items, farming and getting healing items to sell for caps becomes much easier. It's amazing as a bloodied build how many times that you need to use a stim pack. Whereas with a Vampire's build, even at a low health, you get so many stim packs just by looting and doing daily ops and all that stuff, but you never use them, so you can just sell them for caps. Now, yes, a great way to get caps in the game is just by selling mutation serums, but that's what I do most of the time. You sell 3 of them when you're not bloodied and you get 1395 caps. It's such an easy way to get caps. But most people don't want to waste their bloody, flux to craft mutation serums to sell for caps. Most people would just rather sell regular items, and stim packs are a great way to make caps in the game. They're freaking amazing, and when you're collecting them in bulk and not using them by using a high rate of fire Vampire's weapon, you are making a lot and a lot of money, alright? So number 3, you stay alive for longer, of course, but you stay alive for longer where it counts. So think about events like Scorched Earth with the Scorched Beast Queen, Colossal Problem with Earl Williams, Encrypted, right, with the Imposter Sheep Squatch. These are events where it pays to stay alive for longer because you are doing more damage while you are alive. As much as I love a bloodied build, the downside is that as soon as you die or go down, you are out of the battle. And because of that, you're not dealing damage. So if you ever died a single time in an event like that, or a quest like that, whatever it might be, your DPS compared to a vampires build is not even a comparison, because the vampires player is still there shooting that enemy and getting damage. And because of that, your bloodied build, yeah, your damage looked good on paper, but if you died, you're kind of out of luck there. You're going to have to respawn and come back and get back down to bloody and then do your damage. It takes you out of the fight so much if you die, and because of it, you're not dealing damage. So that's why people love vampires weapons, because they never die. And because of that, they're dealing damage. They're actually dealing more damage a lot of the times than a person with a bloodied weapon. So, and I just kind of touched on this, it pairs very, very well with the most popular build in the game, Bloodied. And as you can see, you can still use a vampire's weapon as a full health build. Don't get me wrong, you can. But I would argue that a vampire's weapon doesn't really shine with a full health build. Where it really shines is where it's getting the boost in damage that an unyielding build gives you because of that mutation, because of the perk card, etc., all that kind of stuff. It shines there because you're getting that boost in damage because of the low health, but even though you have low health, you are not dying, right? Because you're constantly getting healed by using this vampire weapon. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So I would say, you know, Bloodied is probably the most popular build out there. And people just assume, well, I'm a Bloodied build, I gotta use a Bloodied weapon. Not necessarily. Use a high rate of fire vampires weapon and see how much you like it. I guarantee you'll consider it that it's OP to some extent, right? And number 5, and I want to jump into it right now because this is a recent kind of addition to the game. High rate of fire vampires weapons, for me as a Bloodied build, are a necessity in the new daily op decryption. Because if you don't have one, you will get killed straight away. These are enemies because of the new mutation. Essentially, they are ignoring your armor in this daily op. You will get punished and die very quickly in this new decryption daily op mode, right? But when you have a high rate of fire vampires weapon, you are not dying as often. You still will, because some of these enemies can one-shot you, but then the way you offset that is by using like a power armor, for instance, which has that inherent protection, so it gets around that kind of anti-armor effect a little bit. And I'll show you, right? So look, I'm gonna try and fight an enemy one-on-one with my bloodied weapon, okay? Oh my god, okay, here, there's a bunch of them, right? Now watch me, I will legitimately try and kill them with VATS and everything. I just died straight away. Okay, now would that have happened with the vampire's weapon? Probably, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that I'll go back in there with a vampire's weapon and I'm just going to spray and pray, yeah? Crap, let me get back down to bloodied. Now what I'm going to do, and this is the beauty with vampires, it heals you even after the moment you shoot an enemy. So what you can do is play it very, very carefully. Here we go. All right, so watch this, right? I'll shoot him and I just got shot, but I'm healing, right? So I got that shot in, and because I got that shot in, even though he shot me afterwards, I'm still healing from that original couple of shots or whatever it was that I got onto that enemy. But let me swap back to my bloodied 50 cal, right? And I'll try and do this legitly. All right. So look, he shot me, and I'm half health now, and I gotta use the stim pack straight away. I almost died. One more shot I would have died. And that wouldn't have happened with my vampires because those additional shots on those other enemies that I just killed would have healed me. If I didn't get the chance to use the stim pack in that situation, I would have died with that bloodied weapon, right? So we are using the vampires one again. So yes, you will die, right? But it's not going to happen as often. This is a brutal, brutal daily op mode. And now, again, because I died, I'm going to pop into my power armor. Watch how well this pairs, okay? It is freaking incredible. Let's head to... There's an enemy here. I'll let him hit me, actually. Oh, did I? No, he just moved. He's that quick. Let me let him hit him. Look at my power armor. See, I'm not dying. It's like, that probably would have killed me with regular armor, but that power armor has that inherent protection. And then you use your vampire's weapon to boost back your health. It is such a deadly, deadly combo. So, I think I made my point, all right? Vampire's weapons are freaking incredible. This is why people like Angry Turtle think that they're like top of the top tier. I would still say that Bloodied is top tier, but it's neck and neck with vampires, especially against regular mobs. If you are like a Bloody Sneak Commando, you don't have as much of a reason to be using a vampire's weapon to be healing, because the idea is that you don't get hit, right? Or if you're versing like a boss monster and you're staying hidden and trying to deal as much damage as possible to end it as quickly as possible, then yeah, you don't have as much of a reason to use vampires. But if you're a heavy gunner build or just a regular rifle build, like a rifleman for instance, and you are getting hit actively and you still want to use that bloodied build to have the benefits of unyielding armor and more XP and all that stuff, try Vampire's weapon every now and again. I promise you, you're gonna like it. All right, now let's get to the conclusion of the video. Alrighty, Wastelanders, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.